Hello, everybody!
Hello!
And welcome to the Two Better Halves podcast, coming to you live from a hotel room in Dillard, Georgia. I am Lenton Lees of the Two Better Halves half.
And I'm Sarah, who's the other half of the Two Better Halves half.
The way this podcast works is that we each get a turn discussing one topic any way we choose. For example, during my 20 minutes, I can talk about anything I want regarding, let's say, wallpaper. So I can make Sarah discuss what her ideal sexual wallpaper type would be. She can write a love poem about wallpaper. Or I can just give us the history of wallpaper. It'll be much more exciting than that, but just as an example of my 20 minutes about wallpaper. What would your 20 minutes about wallpaper be?
Could it be not about wallpaper?
No. Let's say the topic is wallpaper.
I know, but wallpaper is the devil. It's hard to put up. It's hard to take down. It's got weird, funky little patterns. It peels off the walls. It leaves
I was just
this
thinking because we're in
gummy,
the hotel
gluey
room
stuff.
and it's wallpaper, right?
Yes, and I don't like it. It's terrible.
So you hate our anniversary.
No, the bathtub's great. The bed's great. The couch is great. The wallpaper is awful.
We created this podcast so we could take very serious topics that a lot of times couples fight about and say, all right, look, we'll air it out, we'll discuss things in a very, very fair, equally split way, 20 minutes each. Once the time is done, the discussion is done. We do it for all of you. We open up discussion for all of you. I hope you enjoy it. Remember, you can follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Two Better Halves Podcast, and you can listen to us anywhere you enjoy podcasts.
Sounds exciting. I'm in.
And here we are, like mentioned just a little bit ago. We are in Dillard. I keep wanting to call it Texas.
It's not Texas. We are not in Texas.
It just feels like that would be the place.
I mean, maybe. Texas has a lot of cities. There could be a Dillard in Texas. I don't know.
It just sounds like it, right? Dillard, Texas is where I took my baby.
I can't imagine it's all that different, except for the mountains. There's probably not a lot of mountains in Texas.
What? Are you crazy? That's where cowboys are.
Do cowboys have mountains?
Where do you think they get their cows from?
Not mountains?
It's called Brokeback Mountain, not Brokeback Flat.
Yeah, but I don't think they're in Texas in that.
Oh, well, I'm going to look it up. Tell us about how our anniversary, or tell the people at home what we're celebrating.
We are celebrating our 8th wedding anniversary, and it also is pretty close to 9 years of us being together as a couple. Both of them were in early September. And we like to go away for weekends to celebrate our anniversary because with kids and chores and jobs and all of that, it's easy to lose things in the shuffle. So it's nice to get away for a few days and just focus on us. And it doesn't have to be anything fancy. We don't have to go far. It's just the fact that it's just the two of us and we're away from all of the pressures and the hustle and bustle of life.
And out of the 8 anniversaries, 5 of those we've spent in Helen, Georgia, or the nearby areas. Why? Do you remember why we chose Helen the first time?
The first time we did it because I was pregnant, I believe. Maybe? I don't know. We wanted to be close by. And I got a nice little cabin, and it wasn't that expensive, but it was a way for us to get away, and it was nice. I liked it.
So the first time we chose Helen was because, hey, you're pregnant.
Yes, because we didn't want to be too far away from a hospital because the baby was due in October.
Is there a hospital near here?
No, but if I had gone into labor, we were a close enough drive to get to our hospital where our doctor was from here, as opposed to if we went somewhere further away, because it's only, it was like an hour and a half or something like that, so it was close. It was in the vicinity of what they would recommend.
Who's they?
Doctors. They don't want you to be more than 2 or 3 hours away from the hospital when you're in your last trimester.
And then... No, that wouldn't have been our first anniversary, though. That would have been our second anniversary.
No, it wouldn't. We got married in 2012, and Scotland was born in 2013.
Is that right?
Yes, that's right.
You know what? I guess you're correct.
I am correct.
Okay, well, Sarah wins this one.
And I would have been super, super pregnant because she was born in October.
Okay, fine. You win this.
That's right, I do. I like being the winner. I did not, however, win mini golf. I lost mini golf.
No, you lost mini golf. Brokeback Mountain took place in Wyoming, which is basically Texas.
It is not. There are way more mountains in Wyoming.
I was going to say the only difference is that there are mountains. It's just Texas with mountains.
Texas has people. Wyoming has no people.
But obviously, we had to think about COVID this time around when it came to our anniversary. And we had to think about
Being able to be outside, being able to have some social distancing.
Yep. So we chose poorly, I would say.
I would say we didn't choose our location for where we are actually physically staying poorly. I think we did well on that. I think going into Helen on Labor Day weekend was a bad call.
I thought that, I guess since Georgia hasn't made the mandate that businesses have to have masks, I thought they have encouraged it enough to where everyone still would make it a mandate. But no. No one has a mask mandate inside the building.
Well, and
not even the Walmart up here. Like the Walmart in Noonan where we live, they make sure, like maybe every now and then you'll see one dude with an affliction t-shirt who's not wearing his mask. But the Walmart up here, I would say half the people weren't wearing masks.
No, and there wasn't. Did they have somebody checking at the door?
There was a guy sitting over there, but he wasn't doing anything.
Okay, yeah.
Janking his whacker, probably.
I mean, not to stereotype, but President Trump.
That's his Pokemon.
President Trump has been pretty adamant.
Has nothing to do with it.
About not wearing masks and masks not being a huge deal. Overall, I would say that that's been his message. Even recently, he's gone several places not wearing a mask, invited other people that they didn't have to wear a mask if they didn't feel comfortable with it. And we have seen a lot of Trump signs. We have seen a lot of Trump banners since we have been up here. So there are people that clearly admire Trump. And if he's telling them that they don't need to wear a mask and he's their president, I'm sure that they trust and believe that what he says is true. And so I think there is a correlation between those two.
I think it is because this is a much lower income, poorer place that we were at. These people, I mean, look around at these people and the little house, the housing. I mean, just this Walmart we went to compared to our Walmart. These people, they don't have the access to the kind of information. They can't afford to have all kinds of different opinions and have all kinds of different research that they put their families through. They can't afford that kind of stuff. They have to keep their lives dumb.
Well, I do. I think the lower income does make a huge difference. I think, to your point, there's not as much time to worry or think about that. But I think also then it's even more so that you're getting your information from a few key sources. And so if President Trump is one of the people you're getting information from and he's telling you don't need a mask, you don't have the time to dig deeper.
But I think that the way that these people, again, we sound like, I think of where my mom lives in Bridgeport, Alabama, where it is like, what is it? It's like 50 people live there or something.
Yeah, it's very small.
And it's just tiny communities. It's the kind of community that if you walk over there and you say Black Lives Matter and they say All Lives Matter, they're actually saying it because they are actually think that when you say Black Lives Matter, you're saying only Black Lives Matter. It's not because they're trying to make a big argument. They don't have this access to Twitter and all the liberal left and Twitter and stuff. Not everybody sits around on Facebook and Twitter and stuff and listens to all sides of all political arguments and stuff. I mean, these people, they are outside all the time trying to get their freaking chickens ready so they can sell their eggs. And like, I mean, everywhere we saw that anyone was trying to make money, what did you say? What was it? I don't know how these little, what was the business?
Oh, the antique stores.
Yeah, I mean, like, most of what we see are people with their little antique stores, and they're, come buy yourself some bees.
And a lot of farmers markets.
Farmers markets. That's how these people are making their living. They're not making their living by their social media accounts. They don't have access. They don't live by the opinions of the internet. So, yeah, I think when they do hear, I think if Donald Trump keeps their perfectly fine life okay, yeah, they are going to trust what he's doing and that everything's perfectly fine by him. And if they personally haven't been killed by COVID-19 and they have their humdum little life just perfectly fine, I mean, why worry about it?
And I would say that it's not blanket across the board. I definitely agree with you that there has been far less mask wearing here than I've seen in a lot of other places we've been. But the delightful restaurant we went to tonight, they actually made everybody wash their hands before they would seat them. They had signs on the door. All of the staff were wearing masks. I thought that they were taking it incredibly seriously.
And that Mexican restaurant last night, all the staff there was really good about it too. I would say in Dillard, where we are right now, been pretty good about the mask.
Yes.
But then the closer you get to Helen,
yes,
where things get a little bit poorer, because then when you get into your strong businesses in the business run area of Helen, it's a little different. But on the outskirts of the little downtown Helen, it is sad. So, those are the people that I not to get back into the political thing, I don't see them and their Trump signs. You'd be like, wow, I can't believe they support Donald Trump. Fuck them. I get it, you poor souls. It works perfectly fine for your little lives.
Yep, definitely.
Aunt May comes home to you perfectly happy and healthy. You don't know no better, Aunt May. That's from Andy Griffith's show, right?
I have no idea.
Aunt May is coming home. Never watch Andy Griffith's show?
I did. I don't think that song was in there.
Yeah, it's the whistle. It's the whistle one where they whistle it while Aunt May's coming home.
Oh, okay. Then I missed that episode. All the episodes.
Aunt May. We did see one Joe Biden sign. That was pretty cool.
We did.
Not that that's good. Don't get me wrong. We'll learn all about that in November in our special episode, Exactly Who to Vote For, where Sarah and I tell you exactly who to vote for.
If you want. We don't know. We're not going to follow you in the
Point being, we are here. We are wearing our masks all the time, but staying 6 feet apart has been impossible. People are gross.
It was delightful, the little winery that we went to, though.
Yeah, the winery was very easy to stay apart. But yeah, downtown Helen was gross. We didn't spend too much time there. Once we saw it, it was like, mostly we've gone to a couple of nice restaurants, had sex.
Don't tell people that.
Oh, no, we haven't had sex.
They don't want to know about that.
Played the Switch.
We did. We played Mario Kart. I did win Mario Kart.
Yep, she won Mario Kart. You want a gold and a silver?
No, I won a gold and I got 4th place and you got 5th place.
Damn, yeah, on that last one.
Because you made the computer harder.
I made the computer harder and I got intoxicated this weekend. This is the first time I've just let myself get intoxicated in months. It's not been great, I'll tell you what. That is what's the word? When something's not as good as people make it out to be.
I don't know, but it's something that's not as good as people make it out to be.
Yeah, there you go.
Overrated.
Over freaking rated. There you go. What are we talking about today?
We are talking about parenting in quarantine.
Which is perfect, since this is our break from parenting in quarantine.
That's right. But it was not our break from quarantine. I guess it was kind of a break from quarantining. Yes. We're not technically quarantined. We're still trying to keep social distance, but not technically quarantined. Don't look at me like that.
I'm listening.
No, you're making me feel like I'm saying stupid things.
You're not saying, you're saying super smart things. We are not technically quarantined.
It's because I didn't say it with assertion. I should have said it with confidence.
And we'll each get 20 minutes to discuss whatever we want on the topic of parenting in quarantine. I can spend my 20 minutes just telling Sarah how bad of a parent she is. I'm not going to because it would be inaccurate and bullying. But I could if I wanted to. But I'm not going to. So, your 20 minutes? Or would you like me to go first?
You should go first since you didn't get a 20 minutes last time.
That's right. I didn't get it 20 minutes last time. Okay, so whenever you want to start the timer.
I thought you were starting the timer.
Yes, I'm starting the timer. Sorry, we had this whole discussion. All right. I have it at 20 minutes and 12 seconds. 20 minutes, starting now.
Are you giving yourself 12 extra seconds?
No, I didn't. I fixed it. Okay, what kind of stupid things? Oh, God, I really hate it when I have to talk.
But you have such a lovely voice.
Okay, hello.
And your brain is so good with the smarts.
My brains are so good with the smarts.
I don't understand what's happening anymore. I'm very confused. Are you gonna? This is your whole 20 minutes? Is this your whole 20 minutes?
Well, anytime I have my 20 minutes, I look at my questions because the questions are questions I wrote down when I was feeling really serious. And then when I look back, I'm like, ugh, who wants to be serious? And I think about ways to reword them. This sounds a lot dumber.
But you don't want to be dumb. You're smart, baby.
Nah. Being smart's dumb. Maybe I'll just take yours and just reword them so then it is your turn.
Wow. Snake in the grass.
Snake in the grass.
Snake in my boots.
All right, so tell us about the kids for people who don't know all your kids.
Okay. So there are 3 kids. There is Harper, who is 18 and a senior in high school this year. And then there is Hannigan.
Who is...
a boy? Do you want me to mention that he has autism?
Yes. It's like his defining feature.
No, his defining feature is his love of furries.
Okay, wow. Outing him as a furry. He is.
I think he's pretty public about it.
Oh, that's true.
And then Hannigan, who is 14, and she is a freshman this year. And then we have the wee little baby. She's not a baby anymore. She's almost 7. Scotland, who is in 1st grade this year.
Okay.
3 kids. Wide age range. Wide grade span.
And 2 of them are from a previous marriage.
Yes, that is correct.
Which one?
The older 2, obviously. It would be weird if I had one and then another one with you, and then the last one was back with the first.
I mean, the oldest one could be with me, and then the other 2 could be from the previous marriage. That wouldn't be that weird.
That's true, but
The age gap is
how old would you have been when Harper was born then?
Nobody here knows how old I am. It's a mystery.
Ooh.
And I would be, I don't know. I'm 31. He's 18.
Yes.
So.
13?
Hell yeah. That's how kids do in other countries. In other countries, they make 13-year-olds have babies.
Not usually the boys.
How do you know?
I mean, I don't know. I don't live in the other countries, but
Well, you sure
from
sound
what I
like you
see
know.
on the news television.
The news television, oh my god. Old grandpa in front of his news television. Alright, so tell me some things that you have learned, good and bad, about these children during having to see them and be around them just nonstop during quarantine.
And part of it, so our older 2 kids spend most of the summer with their dad. So to be fair, we just recently got them back. It's been 2 months pretty much of us not really seeing a whole lot of them.
Well, you got them back. We got them back over a month ago.
Well, I know before school started, before all of that. So
Yeah, that's been like a month and a half that you've had them
I know,
every
but
day.
what I'm saying is that there could have been changes that took place over the summer just because they're getting older and all that kind of stuff that's not necessarily directly related to quarantine, the effects of quarantine, all those kinds of
Oh,
things.
well, don't tell me about those.
So what I can say is that Hannigan, who is 14, is a lot more... She craves her alone time a lot more than I think she used to. She spends a lot more time not with us and by herself, and I have
Does
not
that fall into the good or the bad category?
really noticed that before.
Good or the bad? Told you guys tell me
I
good
would
and
say
bad.
more bad just because I miss having a chance to interact.
You hate your kid.
Oh, that's not true.
No, that's not true.
Miss having a chance to interact with her as much. It definitely feels like her world is more involved with her friends.
At what age
and
did you
things like
stop
that.
wanting to be around your parents as much?
I don't really think I did, is the thing.
Okay. Well, this is the
I mean,
part
I
of the
definitely
episode where
spent-
Sarah lies.
I definitely spent a lot more time, like,
Yes.
out doing things with friends and things like that. But
At
in
what
terms
age?
of just, like, hanging out in my room,
Well, that still counts. Like, at what age did you start?
high school, it was around
Which
this
is-
age, yeah.
Okay, so same
Yeah,
age.
yeah.
Gotcha.
Same age. Scotland has a lot more energy than I thought. Even with school, I thought maybe having school would make her a little bit more tired. Just having to do more throughout the day and be more, have her attention more focused and not being able to do what she wants to do. But that girl's got some stamina.
It's nonstop.
She can just go and go and go and go and go.
It's ridiculous.
It is endearing, but also a lot sometimes.
Like, people shouldn't wake up in a good mood. You should wake up tired.
She does not.
And then it should take you a while to get going.
She rarely seems sleepy at all.
It's ridiculous. You
Ever.
should wake up grumpy for like 30 minutes.
Till you had your cup of coffee.
Till you've had your cup of coffee or your cup of cereal. It's horrible. No one should be happy.
Yeah.
Anything else that any of the kids
I-
you've noticed?
I think she should be happy. But Harper, so I've really gotten a chance to see him do school.
Do school.
With everybody being completely virtually schooled for the first month of school. And Harper having autism, he needed a lot more support in just knowing what to do, knowing how to log on, following directions, and that kind of thing. And so he's actually sort of sat next to me, and I've been working while he's been working on school, and we've been right there. And so I guess I've seen it both ways. One,
Both ways.
in his English class, he is so much more engaged and understands it and remembers stuff. And even if I think he's not paying attention because he's walking around or doing something else, I'll ask him a question about it later because we'll be filling out something like, well, what was the friar wearing? And he knows exactly what the answer is. And I'm
the friar
shocked.
a-wearing?
Yeah, so he's been reading Canterbury Tales in his English class.
Isn't that a candy?
It is not.
A Canterbury tail egg.
That sounds gross. I don't want a tail egg. Where does that even come from?
It comes from a Canterbury.
Yeah, so he's really impressed me in there. But then at the same time, there'll be very simple directions that someone will give, and he can't figure out where it is or how to find it or how to upload it and things like that. And granted, the virtual schooling is new, but they've had these computers and had to turn things in through Google Classroom and all that kind of stuff. I mean, for at least since he's been in high school, and I think probably longer. They've had those Chromebooks for a really long time. So I've also been surprised sometimes at things that still really confuse him that I would have thought would be less confusing for him by now.
Okay.
You look like that's not the answer you wanted me to give.
No, I'm just listening. These are all things you've told me already. Or not all, but all the Harper things are things that you've already said to me. So it's not like you're telling me something I haven't heard before. But I can pretend like, wow. Oh boy, that's really neat. Harper likes one of his classes.
It's not so much just that he likes it. It's that he is able to retain so much of the information. Like, he's gotten hundreds on tests in that class.
What if he retains it because he likes it?
I mean, I'm sure that doesn't hurt, but...
What if that is the reason?
I mean,
what if that
oh my gosh, I just meant even when he does like things, I don't always know that he retains everything from stuff that he even likes. But I've been pleasantly surprised by that. We started having the kids plan a meal and cook for us, and Scotland has been surprisingly enthusiastic about that process and really wanting to get into it. I was surprised by that. I didn't think that she would like it as much as she did. And I don't know. I don't know. I'm sure there's other things, but those are the ones that I can think of right now. But you look like you want me to say something else. You're biting your lip and you're looking all puzzled. And what did I do?
You didn't do anything.
Okay.
Just listening to your answers.
Okay.
Okay. So those are some good and bad things about the kids, and then some things that you never said whether they were good or bad about the kids, and then the fact that the kids are cooking, which I have no idea if that's good or bad about the kids or not.
I mean, I'm glad that they are cooking. Hannigan made some...
Did they make crap? Or is it good food?
I think everybody has made good food.
What was the worst thing one of the kids made that we had to eat? That would just tasted bad.
Scotland doesn't understand carbs, so she planned some meals that you pretty much just couldn't eat at all. But that's not...
She makes horrible stuff.
It's not that they tasted
hate it when Scotland
bad.
makes food. Scotland makes terrible things that we have to eat.
It was just not...
But Harper likes eating her food. Okay. What about you? What are some things you, as a parent, during quarantine, some really bad things about you as a parent you've discovered, and some really good things?
I would say I have really struggled with trying to prioritize the right things during quarantine when it comes to the kids. It's so easy for work to bleed over into chores, to bleed over into going to bed, and I've just missed out on all the time to do things with them, productive, like just fun things. Not being able to go places and actually scheduling a trip or an activity outside of the house. I haven't been as good about saying, you know what, I'm not going to wash the dishes today. We're going to take an hour and we're going to play or watch a movie or whatever it is. Whereas when I can plan things outside of the house, it's a little different. I don't know why in my mentality, we're not going to be home. We're going to go and do this. And so everything else gets put aside because we're doing this activity. And I have not done well with that at all, I would say.
Anything else?
In terms of things that I've done good, I would...
Anything else you've been terrible at?
Terrible?
Yeah. Well, I mean, a terrible bad.
I already said one bad thing. I mean, I don't think I've done a good job of thinking of all of the different fun things we can do at home. Like, I've gotten a little bit caught up on the fact that we can't go see a movie or go bowling or go to the zoo. And I haven't really thought about, we have tons of yard games. We have tons of board games. We can rent all kinds of movies. There's a lot of other options that would still be fun things to do.
Yeah, and I think that sort of mixes into that first one, too.
It does a little bit.
Yeah.
It's definitely a struggle to try to balance work with kids' school, with chores, with everything all being at home, everybody being there, everything sort of intermixing together and trying to keep on top of that. There's definitely been a couple of times where, because the older kids are in high school, that they have to be log in at a certain time and then be in class at a certain time, and the times are like really bizarro oddball times. It's like 10:18 and 12:26, which are not like the most on the hour numbers to remember, and that conflicts with my work schedule, which is meeting starts at 2 or 2:30. Like everything is on the half hour. And so there have definitely been times where I had a meeting starting at 2. Their class started at 2:05. Totally forgot to mention it to them. They didn't come downstairs proactively to get logged on, so it's 2:15 instantly. I'm like, crap, you've missed, a big chunk of the class. And then trying to go and get everybody caught back up. So I've definitely struggled with that. And I know I could set alarms and all that kind of stuff, but I don't know. I haven't really got my hands around that very well.
Well, now you don't have to worry about it.
Except a little bit, because the older 2 kids are going back to school 1 week. But
Hey, and we didn't touch on that at the beginning, so let's let you do it on your time. We decided to send the kids back to face-to-face learning, and we'll make you be the one to explain why. So if anybody's like, yo, wow, y'all hate your kids, COVID-19, it's going to be your fault.
So I definitely think that there is still a risk. I do think that the school system is doing the best that they can for the elementary kids. They have smaller class sizes anyway. They don't move classes. They're not going from room to room. So they're not being exposed to 100 kids, or 400 kids are being exposed to 20 kids for the most part in their one little classroom. And then for the older kids with high school, there is a much larger amount. And so what they've done is that they're breaking them up or they're cohorting them, I think is the word they're using.
Cohorting?
Cohorting.
Horting?
Yes.
That's
like Horton, here's a
sexy.
And so they're splitting them up based on their last names. So there will only be half as many kids in the school at any one time. They are requiring masks in between classes. They're requiring social distancing in the actual classrooms. And I think, as with anything, there's always going to be that balance of, them not being in school, not having the social interaction of their peers, not getting that one-on-one teacher help, especially for Scotland and for Harper. Scotland being so much younger, and Harper with the autism, really needing more of that help and instruction that we can't do the same as a trained educator can do. I mean, we can only do so much, and I think we've done well, but I think that it's an important piece for them. I think the social piece is really, really important. And so at what point does the risk of them potentially catching COVID get outweighed by the risk of them missing out on those opportunities and those things in their fundamental years while they're still forming who they are as people? And so, I feel like the school has put enough safeguards in place that I feel like the benefit they get from going is worth the risk that they might run from being around others.
I think it would be different, at least for me, if COVID was a lot more dangerous to kids specifically.
I think that does play into it for sure.
Like, I know that it's really bad for type 1 diabetics, but I have very, very little value of my own life.
But you should, because you're
wonderful. So, like, if Scotland comes home with, like, a basket full of COVID, that's cool. Should she bring it?
I don't think she's going to bring it in a basket.
Sprinkle it, like, all over my stuff.
Is she the Easter bunny, the COVID bunny?
Someone's got to be the COVID bunny.
Well, I don't think it should be her.
Well, who should it be?
I don't know. Somebody. What am I doing?
You're singing a song.
Oh, goodness.
Everyone knows that a good song is a song written about children.
It is?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the song, I Hope You Dance, which is sung at graduations.
If there are graduations.
Sweet 16s, which I've never been to. Weddings.
Sorry, baby.
You know this song, don't you?
Do you want to be invited to a sweet 16?
I want to be invited to a sweet graduation. Or a 16 graduation, where 16 people graduate at once.
Are they 16? When they graduate? Are they 16
You can't graduate when you're 16 unless you're like a genius.
Yeah,
This ain't August Rush.
I mean, why can't
Why are you wasting my time? Come on, you got a song to sing. This is the song I Hope You Dance, which is about parenting and quarantine and hoping that your child will get out of quarantine. And hoping that your child will escape quarantine and be able to dance and live a big life out in the world.
I do hope they live a big life. Okay. I hope you never lose your sense of wonder. You get your fill to eat, but always keep that hunger. May you never take one single breath for granted.
Ooh, you got that twang.
God forbid love ever leave you empty-handed. I hope you still feel small when you stand beside the ocean. Whenever
Drag it out. Hit that ocean again. It's my 20 minutes. Come on, hit it one more time.
Stand beside the ocean.
No, you gotta drag out the ocean.
I just did.
No longer.
Ocean.
Oh, shit.
Whenever one door closes, I hope one more opens. Promise me that you'll give faith a fighting chance. And when you get the choice to sit it out or dance,
Did good.
I hope you dance. I hope you dance.
Ooh.
Are you going to keep going?
Yes, keep going. It's the whole song.
I hope you never fear those mountains in the distance. Never settle for the path of least resistance. Living might mean taking chances, but they're worth taking. Love might be a mistake, but it's worth making.
You gotta go back. Just the line, because I'm not sure what the line is in this second verse.
Loving might be a mistake, but it's worth making. I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's got the right number of words.
Oh, well, fuck that song then. Keep going.
Don't let some hell-bent heart leave you bitter. When you come close to selling out, reconsider. Give the heavens above more than just a passing glance. And when you get the choice to sit it out or dance,
I like this raspy country
I hope you dance. I hope you dance. I hope you dance. I hope you dance. Time is a wheel in constant motion. Always. I don't know this part.
This is the part that where Akon comes in.
Oh, okay.
Akon, young Jeezy. And he said,
I know this part. I hope you still feel small when you stand beside the ocean. Is that good?
I don't know the last part of the song.
Okay. I didn't know if I had drug out ocean long enough that time. Whenever one door closes, I hope one more opens. Promise me that you'll give faith the fighting chance. And when you get the choice to sit it out or dance, I hope you dance.
I hope you dance.
I hope you dance.
You know that.
And then it's that same time as a wheel thing. I don't know that part.
Yes, you know.
Tell me who wants to look back on their years and wonder where those years have gone.
Keep going.
That's it.
Awesome.
That's the end.
That's the whole song.
That's the whole song.
Yeah, you know, we haven't done a song in a while, and it felt
There's
like something
a reason.
was missing in my life. And look at that. Perfect timing.
I'm not so good with the singing.
Perfect timing. That was my 20 minutes. Some decent conversation, some good conversation, some perfect singing.
No, it was not perfect.
Perfect
It was
singing.
not perfect.
I'm going to put that up on YouTube.
Oh, God.
And Tisha Youngwood, or whoever the fuck sang that song.
I can sing so much better than the people think from this podcast.
I don't believe that's true. I'm going to fill my glass with a little bit of champ.
Champagne!
Before your 20 minutes starts.
Champagne, because it's our anniversary and
You
we're
keep
celebrating. And we save all of our champagne bottles. We have every one from our wedding day through
Before
now.
that, right?
Maybe even before that. Anytime we celebrate anything and we have champagne to celebrate. So we have promotions and house buyings and birthdays and wedding anniversaries and lots and lots and lots and lots of champagne bottles. We celebrate a lot of things because we're lucky people.
It was definitely before that because we had a champagne bottle for my Wrestling with Walls website, which was before we got married.
Was it? Okay.
And for our first night in the Red House, which we rented, which was
Yes.
before we got married.
That is true.
So
Yes.
I'm not sure when we started doing the champagne bottles,
But it's been a long time.
but it's been a long time that we started the champagne bottles. But
Yes.
yeah, if you go to our house, you know what? If you hit us up on our Instagram, or our Facebook. We'll post a picture of it on Wednesday when this episode drops. You'll be able to see all our champagne bottles.
Whoop, whoop.
Okay, you ready for your twins?
Yes.
All right, here we go. Final 20 minutes. Boom.
All right. Did I get 12 extra seconds?
Fire jokes.
Okay, it's not your 20 minutes, so hush. I'm going to mute you.
All right, I'm going to hush the whole time. Get ready.
No, you can't. You have to talk if I tell you to talk because it's my 20 minutes.
Yeah, tell me to talk.
Yes. Okay. So one of the things that we've done, because we had all 3 kids at home trying to do virtual schooling, all with different timetables, all with different times they had to be on, be doing things, all needing different levels of assistance, you graciously accepted the task of working with wee Scotland, who's never done...
Wee little baby. You're such a small little baby, fit in my pocket next to my pennies.
Who's never had to work with the Chromebooks before, never had to use Google Classroom, never had to do any of that sort of stuff. And so definitely not as familiar with the concept as the older 2 kids were. And so I'm wondering, I know that your mom homeschooled you and all of your brothers for a good chunk of time. I know that Daniel went to high school for a little while, but by and large, she homeschooled all 4 of you at the same time at different grade levels.
That's what they tell me.
So has having to support Scotland through all of that changed your opinion of your mom and how she handled all that and how it all worked?
No, not at all.
Okay, so why not?
Well, completely different situation. My mother chose to homeschool 4 kids because, from what I've always been told, she didn't trust the public school system to adequately lead her children down the correct religious path that she needed them led down. So she homeschooled all 4 of her boys. Not to say that my mom's a crazy religious freak or anything, but she needed to give us the attention and the education that she felt was right for us, and that involved her homeschooling us. And so she did that until my dad emotionally cheated on her and the marriage fell apart. I was a junior in homeschool high school, in which she decided not to homeschool us anymore and gave us the answer keys and said, you can finish your homeschooling or you can try to get a GED. And I was left to figure out how the fuck any of that worked, and everything went to shit. So that is not even close to the same as me having to sit close to my child as she talks to her teacher on a Chromebook and sometimes needs my help, sometimes does not. Never even once thought about the fact that it had anything to do with my homeschooling when I was a kid. Never even thought about it being similar till just now when you said that.
Well, that is very fair. I don't know what your homeschooling experience was like. I don't know a whole lot of
I
details.
enjoyed my homeschooling experience from what I can remember.
Well, that's good. So, given that, we have sort of highlighted into that a little bit. So, you... How?
Yes, you're right. You know what?
I'm trying to think of how to...
I'm going to dive into that a little bit more.
No, you cannot. No, you cannot, because it is my 20 minutes. So you have to stop. Hush. Hush, hush, hush. Okay.
This is bullshit, y'all.
No, it is not.
It
is
is
my.
emotional.
You set the rules. It is my 20 minutes. All right. How has the whole experience then of working with Scotland met your expectations?
I don't know what that means.
Met your expectations,
Of
you
what?
jerk.
That makes what
Like, I'm sure you had an idea in your head when you heard that we were going to have to do the virtual schooling thing and she was going to be home, that you had an idea in your head of what was going to be like. So how has that actually met your expectations and been like, okay, yeah, that's exactly how I thought it was going to be? And what parts of it have been like, wow, that is not what I expected at all?
It was a lot worse in the sense of it's about, and now it's, Scotland went back to school she's been back one day now to face. But we're talking about a school day that goes from 8:30 to 2:30, and probably overall an hour and 15 minutes of that entire day is actually spent talking to the teacher. The rest of that is spent free time doing stuff with me, time doing stuff by yourself, given an hour and a half long lunch break. It is basically just... There's just so much free time, and I get it because, they had to figure out how to do the virtual learning thing. unexpectedly, and every kid's going to work it differently. But Scotland does her stuff very, very, very quickly. So when the teacher's like, okay, here's what you guys have to do. Now go and do it, and then be back here in an hour and a half, and then it takes Scotland 10 minutes. That means now Scotland is trying to find ways to entertain herself, but she can't really go in the kitchen because that's where Harper is. So, yeah, it was way worse. Way worse. In that sense. But the teacher's really, really great. She tried really, really hard.
Do you think, because I
can't. I try, but I'm so stupid.
You're not stupid.
So when I try to
Oh my gosh, you keep interrupting me during my 20 minutes.
Do you
I
think?
did not finish my statement.
I thought the question was, do you think?
You know you didn't think that. Oh my goodness, that is not what you thought. Okay, so I've heard a lot as I've come by of like kids who are confused, who can't find things. So do you think that some of those kids in her class are really struggling with just not having any of the supervision or support to help them through? Just does it seem like the teacher is frustrated or stressed with that at all? Like, I mean, I know you're right there and you're able to help Scotland, but I'd imagine that's not the situation for all of those kids.
No, the teacher never seems frustrated and stressed. She seems sad that she can't be there to help all the kids. There are a couple kids in particular that do get really, really stressed or really, really sad. And anytime because the teacher always asks, is there someone there that can help you? And no kid has ever said, no, there's no one here that can help me.
Well, that's good.
And they just seem like they're really emotional kids. And some kids are like that, some kids aren't. Some kids can handle themselves, and some kids are less independent. So, I mean, I don't know. It feels weird just sit here and talk bad about little... You mean just talk bad about little first graders?
No, of course not.
All right, there's this little bitch. This is one kid. Man, he's so lame.
Wow.
If I would have been there, I would have virtually taken his lunch money.
Oh, baby, you can't.
And I would have sent him to a website, and when he would have opened it, it would have just been a virtual swirly. Like he would have clicked it, and it would have gone.
It's a good thing you didn't go to public school.
I would have gotten laid so much.
Yeah, you would have also gotten suspended so much.
I didn't have sex till I was, 20?
I don't know. I wasn't there.
No, I'm trying to think. It was 20, because I was with the girl that I had sex with when I was 21. We were already together. So, yeah, I didn't have sex until 20.
What? That's not bad.
Yeah, it is. You should be having sex when you're, 9.
No, you should not.
With other 9-year-olds?
No, you should not.
How do you know?
No, you shouldn't.
No, I take that back. 9-year-olds, if you're listening to this, you're not supposed to be because there's an explicit warning everywhere this is posted. Also, don't have sex.
I also don't think they'd...
Have I managed to not give you any really serious answers yet? Because I'm trying.
Oh, no, you've given some serious answers. All right, so what have you learned about Scotland by watching her interact with her peers and her teacher?
Oh, she doesn't like authority. She doesn't like being told what to do. She understands, which is a valuable lesson, that just because an adult sets rules, you should question them. And that is something I have always taught her. Just because if an adult says, you should say yes, ma'am, and yes, sir, and no, ma'am, and no, sir, ask why. You don't have to do shit just because an adult says so. Even if they're your teacher, you should say why. If the answer is not a good answer, you don't have to do it. And I've noticed that some of the lessons I have taught her that I thought were just sort of flippant lessons that I have sort of just said, like I say, yeah, Scotland, you can cuss at home as long as there's no anger behind it, because that's a rule that I've always said. I said, you can walk up and say, hey, this couch is a fuck, because that means nothing. That means nothing. You can go up to a cat's tail and give it the middle finger. That means nothing. If you're teaching your kid that your kid can't walk up to a tree and say, hey, tree, bitch, then you're a weird parent, because that means nothing. And I teach my kid the same thing. I said, you shouldn't use anger with your cuss words. And I teach Scotland that. So Scotland tells that to other people. That is what she is taught. And there's rules like that, those kinds of little things that I tell Scotland that I guess I didn't think that she paid that much attention to. And I have learned that she pays that much attention to. And I'm glad she paid that much attention to, because I am completely right. And she is completely right in the fact of these things that I just hope that she is as prepared to defend her positions as she's going to have to be. And I think she is, and I am definitely as prepared. Because all it is a matter of saying why to questions, to situations. No adult's answer should ever be because I said so, and that's always been my thing. I've always promised I would never have anything be. I would never, as a parent, say because I said so. And thus far, I've never done it, have I?
Not that I can think of.
Never, ever, ever. That is horrible parenting. And again, that should work for if you're a kid and you're in some kind of situation, and if an adult is telling you to do something, no matter who it is, teacher, boss, whatever, if they're saying because I said so, and you're saying why, and they can't give you a real answer, hey, come to somebody higher up than them, come to me, come to someone higher up than me, go to God eventually, see what he can do to help. So she pays a lot of attention to those little lessons that I've given her, and I am proud of that, but it's also interesting to now see her bringing those out.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think when she's in high school, everyone is starting to rebel and is getting opinions like that. When you're in first grade, it's a little different.
Yeah, she's a little precocious.
She's smart.
She's very smart. All right, so what are you most proud of doing as a parent through all of this? It's been a challenge for everyone as a parent.
During
quarantine.
Quarantine? Oh, God. Oh, shit. I almost dropped the thing.
If you break my glass.
I'm going to break your precious property. God damn.
Well, good. Yeah, so I mean, it can be related to homeschooling, but we focused a lot on that and the virtual learning and all of that. So it can be something that's outside of that.
It covers so much.
Well, I know. So what are you most proud of?
Holy crap. Because how long ago did this start now?
March.
And I've done so much wrong.
But I'm not asking you what you did wrong.
I know, so it's so hard to pick like something to be proud of. That's not how my brain works.
We got to think of something.
I know. I'm trying.
Da, 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 da.
No, that makes it a lot worse.
Well, I'm not just going to leave it be dead air, so you're going to have to think of something.
Okay, gosh, dang it. I can think of a couple things that have come straight to the front of my brain. You and I have had some of our deepest conversations we've ever had in the last month or so. And I don't think that would have happened without quarantine. That has nothing to do with parenting, though, so I'm not going to let that be the answer. I mean, like, Scotland is so great right now, and I don't think she would have been if she would... Like, if she would have been in school all that time and stuff, I don't think she'd be as fucking cool as she is right now.
Okay, that's fair.
Like, my last answer, I don't think that would have been able to be my answer. But I can't guarantee it is the problem.
No, but that's fine. I think that you feel like you've had a chance to have a lot more influence on her because she's
gotten a lot more independent. Like, she doesn't come to our door all night and stuff like that. She doesn't complain when we ask her to do things at the end of the day. She wakes up with a ton of energy. She has, like, all this energy during the day, and she's just good to go. She's good to do stuff. She's staying over with her grandma's this weekend without her pinky blanket, and she's perfectly fine with that, and that's never happened before. I don't feel like that would have been the case if she would have just stayed in her little routine, walking the little line of typical
in pre-K
students.
She cried every day when we dropped her off. Every day.
I think she needed to have a break from that typical routine, and I think it's been good for her to be around me and you and her older siblings a lot more, because she really doesn't get to see Harper and Hannigan a lot. Yeah. And I think...
No, that's great. So this kind of brings me to
sorry, shit. I shouldn't get into too much detail about my answer.
I'm sorry.
God.
You know what? It's my 20 minutes. So how do you think the quarantine in general has affected the kids? And do you think that
terribly, they're all going to end up killing us.
Do you think those changes are going to be permanent, or do you think that's something that will fade over time as they get back into normal routines and getting to be around their peers and that kind of stuff? Because, that's one of the things that, like all the child psychologists and the American Pediatric Association...
all that stuff is bullshit.
Well, that's why I'm asking you.
That crap.
That's why I'm asking you. Have you noticed changes in them since quarantine has started? And do you think that... So, for example, Scotland had to make some books at school. And first of all, it was really interesting because the books were all about wearing a mask and social distancing, which is just something that they're having to teach the kids because... That's the reality of the world right now. Obviously, that's not something any other first grader has ever learned in the history of first grade. It's specific to the pandemic. But there was one book that she was coloring that was just about being a healthy person. And she noticed that the kids didn't have masks on. So she colored masks on the kids because that's what you're supposed to wear a mask. So it's little things like that in my mind I've noticed, which she'll always say, well, when COVID-19 is over or when coronavirus ends, like that's just a part of her thought process now. So are there any things like that you notice where you've seen changes in them that's really the result of sort of this
you're asking if I've seen changes or
noticed
have
changes?
I seen good things that I think
it can be good things.
Originally good or just changes?
It's just changes in them that is from the fact that
that's way less exciting of a question.
Okay, well it can be good things. A good thing is a change too, but a bad thing is also a change.
I just figured that I feel like that's the question I just asked you about. Things you notice good and bad about the kids from...
Yeah, but I thought that question was what have I noticed just because I've been around them more versus how has the quarantine and pandemic actually impacted them as people and they now behave differently than they did before.
Okay. I don't see a difference, but okay. Let me think. Let's think about how that question is different. Oh, Scotland was doing this book for school. And she had to draw and she noticed that they didn't have masks on, so she drew masks on them.
Yes.
And then when she talks about things, she says when COVID-19 is over and the coronavirus is over.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
when the kids go places now, they wear masks. Didn't do that before.
You are such a jerk sometimes.
These are my answers.
Oh, God. Okay, never
mind.
We'll
okay,
move. Okay.
No, let me
no, you don't want to answer the question. You don't think it's... No, you know what? It doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter.
Mean,
what has been your biggest... No, it is my turn. You hush.
I can't think of any other
What is the biggest struggle about parenting in quarantine?
When your wife screams at you
that is not
during your anniversary trip because you can't think of another answer.
This has nothing to do with parenting.
This has everything to do with parenting.
No, it doesn't. You're not my parent.
All right, what's the question again?
What is the biggest struggle about parenting in quarantine?
That they are always fucking there.
Okay, and how have you dealt with that?
Terribly.
You have done nothing to cope with that. You have just let it consume you.
Do you think I've done well to cope with it?
I mean, I think you have coped with it, yes. Have there been times where you struggled? Yes, as I have, as I'm sure every parent has.
Struggle with it way better than me.
Okay, first of all, a struggle is a struggle. There's not a better struggle.
Okay, sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't speak perfectly, you guys. So I got to take my degree off the wall so Sarah can replace it with hers of speaking perfectly. There, put your golden degree up.
I don't have a degree in speaking perfectly.
Yeah, you fucking do. Sure you do.
You're not supposed to use swear words in anger.
Thus far... Scotland is not supposed to use swear words in anger. I'm a grown-ass fucking man. Thus far, as of the recording of this podcast, before, a couple of trips and dates here and there, the kids have been around literally all of the freaking time.
Yes.
Now, they will start going to school at the same time. And we will have, during the day, while you're working, and I will be doing my working. I do quotation marks because the stuff I do is bullshit.
I mean, it's not.
That will not be true. But at the moment of asking this question, even though Scotland has gone back to school, Harper and Hannigan had not gone back. So there has not been any freedom. They are always there. And there are times where they are super fun and super great and make you feel super good about yourself. But that is not usually how they make you feel. Usually they make you feel like you're not good enough. That you need to be doing other things for them. Things that you're not currently doing. And when you're doing the right thing for one, you're doing the wrong thing for the other. And I've handled it poorly. And I always feel guilty. And I always feel bad about myself. And it's led to horrible, dark thoughts. So that's how I've handled it. How about you?
You don't think that there's a single thing that you've done that has been positive or ways that you've balanced that? I mean, I think you've done a really great... I would say that since quarantine has started, the way that, in particular with Harper, you have carved out specific time to do things with him has been... so sweet and admirable, and it's meant so much to him because he doesn't have those other interactions.
No, I think I just said that I am doing something really, really nice with Harper. But as I'm doing that, where is Scotland?
but
she's in the other room.
You don't think it's
mad at
okay,
me.
but you don't think it's okay for her to learn that sometimes she's not going to get the attention and a sibling might, and that's okay, and she's just going to have to be patient.
It's okay.
So you don't, even if she's upset about it, that might still be a good lesson for her.
Sure.
All right, well, there you go. 20 minutes.
20 minutes of my wife yelling at me.
That was not what happened.
That is what happened. 20 minutes is over. Hope you guys enjoyed that. What is next week? Let's pull it up. Let's take a look. I'm not sure what next week is. Is that polyamory next week?
Maybe. That one's coming up. I know that.
Oh, no. Next week is money and marriage.
Ooh, money, money, money.
Money, money, money. Next week, money and marriage.
Marriage and money.
Well, it is called money and marriage with... No, I was about to say an exclamation mark, but no. No exclamation mark. Is there any last bit of anything you'd like to say as far as parenting and quarantine? Or anniversary?
I think you've done better than you've given yourself credit for. And I love you, and I'm glad we've been married for 8 years, and I'd like to be married to you for the next date, and the next date after that, and the next date after that, and so on and so forth.
Thank you. I would like to be married to you for exactly...
You're doing some math, aren't you? I can see you counting in your head.
Now I can't say it because I'm going to look like an idiot, the fact that I had to do the multiplication in my head.
That doesn't... Why?
No.
Well, you're not writing it on a piece of paper. You're not looking it up. You're not typing it in a calculator. You were doing it in your head.
Smart people don't have to do math in their head.
Yes, they do.
No, smart people do it on their fingers. I'm an idiot. Hey, you bugalugs. Before you go anywhere, be sure to hit us with a 5-star review wherever you listen to your podcast. Okie doke. Love, love, love ya.